We are assembling the church pop-up card. So I'm going to start by applying the panels to my base. There is a slight border around each of the pieces, so you just want to center it within the score lines. I like to start with the base so that it has time to dry before I have to start putting the pieces in it. Okay. So next we're going to prep the base, but I want to point out the differences in the slats. So the piece that has the two slats that are not on the fold, these are the front two pieces of the card, and then you have this piece, and you can see that this slat is on the fold. This is the back. This is the center and the back piece, okay? So we're going to flip these over, and we're going to, when you fold this, you fold down to where it's straight across, and then you fold up, creating this 1/4 inch gap. And this 1/4 inch gap we are going to glue down. And you just I need to hold it for a few seconds to make sure it grabs. I like to let this dry so that it's not coming apart when I'm working with putting the pieces in. And that's why I start with the base. So you do that to both pieces, top and bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my pieces together. And then you can set that aside for a few minutes. So I have already started my trees because the little flowers take some time to put on. Let's look at this one first. I'm also going to be popping up these two small pieces to my tree with some foam tape. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to glue the tree top on. And on both of these, you want to make sure that you're lining up the tree top to the top. And you'll see there's still some here showing. And those are going to be covered by the additional tree pieces that you have. Okay? So I've got that on, and then this piece just lines up covering the rest of that brown. Okay, I've got a couple of flowers here that I haven't curled yet, and I just curl these in the palm of my hand with the stylus tool. See where I want to lay them. And then when I put my flowers on, I apply them by putting the glue on the tree. I don't put it on the flower. This way I know the glue dot is where I want my piece to be. Okay. And this one is this piece. This is the shorter of the two trees. These extra pieces here help give more stability to this piece. So I think it's important to have the extra layer on there so that it's sturdy enough to stand up tall. I'm gonna set that aside. And again, I'm going to use a piece of foam tape here. Going to just glue this in place as well. So there's the two trees. And set those aside. Now I'm going to work on my church, and I'm going to put it together first, and then I'm going to glue it in place. So I have inked the edges here on this piece to make this one stand out a little bit. This piece is to make your church look dimensional. You're just going to line it up in this bottom corner. And then glue your roof on. Every time I start filming, my family goes into the kitchen, and my office is right next to the kitchen. So if you can hear that, I apologize. This big archway is the front door. And then you have a little window. For those of you who don't know, I'm a mother of 5, so there's no place I can go in my house where I can have complete quiet ever. And honestly, my husband is the loudest one. So these smaller arches are the windows. And then you want to put your cross on before you put the top roof on. And then your roof. Okay, so there's the church, and we're going to glue it in place. Oops. So there's that piece. So now for my flowers, I'm sorry, let me let them know that I'm working. All of your yelling is on my video. Okay. So now we're going to put the flowers together. In the file, the flowers do have a center, but I wanted to use my sticker dots there and for the centers of my flowers, so I did not even cut them. And I think I'm going to use a different color for each flower. So here's my dots. I think these are about the same size as the circles that come in the file. They might be a little bit smaller. And so for me to determine where I want them, I'm going to place my grass here and see where they are in relation to my church. So you can just put these wherever you like them to be. If you want them all on one side, if you want them back by the tree, that'd be fine too. You can just have grass in the front. Okay, so each one of these has a tab, and you'll want to fold each one except for the center one. This is the center. It doesn't have a tab. So that's how you identify which one is your center. And then we're going to pull this over. And remember that the one that is on the fold, that's where this one goes. So that goes there. This one goes here. And you can pull this around to help you visualize where the rest of your pieces are. That one's there and that one's there. Okay? Oopsie. It hung up. Okay. So this is how the pieces are going to go in. And this time when I do it, the front pieces are facing down and they're on this side. It's just because of the way I put the card together. When you push these in, you want to make sure they're not going over the edge. You're going to hold this up out of your way and apply glue right to this tab. And you're going to glue this directly down to the bottom of the card. Okay? Then slide in your next piece. Just center it on in there. Lift up your tab. Put glue on the bottom. And glue this right down to the bottom piece. Okay? Then we're going to come here to the other side, and these are facing us. Okay, make sure it's pulled all the way down. Lift up this tab and apply glue to the bottom. We're going to glue that down to the base. Now this one is our center. So when this one goes in, we're going to glue these two tabs, top and bottom, to the center. Okay? So put glue only on your center piece and glue your top tab down to it. And I put my glue up under my line. And then, again, we're just putting glue on the center. You are not going to glue this piece to the bottom. You're gluing it to the tabs. That is because this piece acts as the anchor that pulls this up and down. Okay, without these being glued to this piece, this won't operate correctly. Okay, so then you're going to fold this bottom tab up. The top one's going to be down, and we're going to put glue on these two pieces. We're going to glue these together like a sandwich. Do not put glue here in the center that doesn't have a tab. Then you'll get things glued down that shouldn't be glued down. Bring this together and line it up, and then apply some pressure to get it to stick. You really want to make sure that this is adhering well. And then we're going to lift this up and fold this tab down and close up our card. And now pop it up. And there is our church pop-up card. Thank you for joining me.